I was asked to be on a panel which was entitled "The Explosion of ESG in Wealth Management." And because I work for family offices and have been doing so for more than 10 years, I was asked if I could bring my specific expertise in terms of the more, let's say, increasing demand for what I call sustainable investment, meaning environment, social, and governance issues are being taken into account when an investment decision-making process is either implemented or is augmented by these risk factors. Also, there is the opportunity set that's in environment and social. We don't really invest in governance, except that if a company is not well run, then you shouldn't be looking at it anyway. So I put G first, governance and management. But after that, you look at the environmental risks to a company, their social risks, i.e., are they treating their employees well so that they retain them, that they have the institutional knowledge, there's not a lot of staff turnover, which definitely hits productivity in the bottom line. And one of the approaches that people take as they get more comfortable with just assessing the risks of environment and social issues to investments, the next step is to say, well, are there any parts of this where it's a really good investment equation? So therefore, if I look at energy efficiency or retrofitting buildings for better resource management, those are good opportunities in this ESG space. On the social side, it generally tends to be pushed out a bit further into impact investment, meaning you address a social issue such as poverty alleviation or health and well-being, although a lot of healthcare companies are not so long-term in terms of their investment. We've got a lot of liquid, market-based healthcare companies in which one can invest. But in general, it's the ESG part of this, which is sustainable funds. And here at the conference, most of the attendees of that panel seem to be the asset managers, and they were asking, what are the products, that we're supposed to come up with? What are the high net worth individuals, the families, the foundations? Even my firm has university endowments as clients. What are they asking for? So actually, I'll separate those. The families generally start with an almost ethical approach. They'll look at their own values and they'll determine that perhaps they don't want to invest in a gun maker, for example. Then they will be interested in the ESG part. They will be saying, okay, how do I get sustainable long-term investments that do no harm, but also that are going to be long enough term that I get my, let's say, cost of living equation. I want to maintain my lifestyle. Please give me investments that will give me both the income scenario as well as a growth scenario that satisfies my income needs. Then the last, let's say, approach is if you take the impact investment on the further along the spectrum, you generally have longer term social issues that you're trying to tackle, and you have to have more patient capital for that. So it was interesting that the asset managers immediately said, well, what product should we create for your investors? And I kind of describe the spectrum. So you can act upon the whole thing. I look for impact, positive impact, in every asset class. So asset managers should respond to that.